What's up, you Jerry Curl bitches?
Coming in hot.
It's Johnny. Yeah, we haven't brought back the insult intros in a long time. We used to do that back in the day. That's all you get from me, Jony. That's the name. My name is my name. Get at me at my name, because my name is my name. That's all I got to say. I'm the host with the most, but my guests got even more.
Hola, it's the guest. Your boy Black Picasso, the Okage Devotion and Leads, the Commander of the Scout Regiment, the King of the Pirates, the Commissioner of CCG, Principal of the Hero Academy, Captain America, Day 13, Leader of the Hishin Unit, General Bernarmi, Kakashi Hatake, Jiraiya Sensei, Mason Sanji, Seto Kaiba, Odin Sama. I'm just glad to be here, man. Thank you for having me on. It's nice.
Oh my god, this has been a long time coming. Y'all let Nate get a green screen? Do you know what fuck shit is about to ensue? Just seeing what this man does on his Twitter alone. This, plus that technology back there. This man is about to make so much themed porn.
Porn, baby! Strokes on this green screen! I could be anywhere. I'm fucking Malibu tonight. I'm in Virginia. Stupid.
Yeah.
Alright guys, I'm gonna keep it real. It's just Kenton here. You know me. If you watch Johnny and Kenton, you know. If you haven't, that's cool too. But you'll know me now as the lemon that never went sour.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
That's the AKA I got for
Nice.
today.
Oh my gosh, I like that.
So soak up in that.
Nice.
Lemon that never went sour.
The lemon that never sours. Dodgers just won the championship. I saw at least 25 people doing donuts on intersections in the first hour of winning.
Did you see the girl that fell off the Jeep?
Oh no.
That was hilarious. So when the Dodgers won, she was out there, and of course in her jersey or whatever, as a fake fan, showing up, trying to twerk on top of a Jeep, and the Jeep pulled through the intersection, and she fell off the back of it.
Wait, she was on top of the same Jeep, and then the driver just said, "Hey, watch this," and just went.
Yeah.
Yes.
You would never see a stupider mob than a mob after their city won any championship.
Oh, absolutely.
Niggas just do dumb shit for no reason.
But the worst thing about LA is they win a lot, so there's really no need for them to be doing this shit this often. Like, you know what I mean?
To that level, no. Like, I understand if you're from base from like Cleveland when LeBron won something like that. It's like Cleveland hasn't won anything in decades.
Right.
That's a lot of pent up. Like, LA is like, you
Yeah.
had so many dynasties and so many sports.
And like all the teams want to move to LA. Like when they're sick of their city, they try to go to LA. So it's like it's not even really a LA team. They just want to move there to live in a nice place, which I don't blame them.
So do those same fans though. Like none of those fans are even from LA. They all moved to LA to be a different place. So it's like, what? You don't even have a real like connection to this place either.
Yeah.
All y'all teams and fans are both fake.
If anything, you could tell somebody's phony living in LA if they're a Clippers fan. Like, for real. Like, it's just kind of weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, dog, really? Like,
yeah.
For real?
You get what you get.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. I grew up a Clippers fan because my brothers were Lakers fans, and I hated the Lakers because my brothers were Lakers fans. That's the only reason why I was a Clippers fan.
So you chose the team that would ensure that your brothers would have a one-up on you every single year until like 2 years ago.
Had the Celtics as an easy option and was like, nah, give me Chris Kaman. Give me Chris Kaman. Y'all remember Chris Kaman? Like, this guy was an all-star center in like 2006. Like, the fucking ginger Wolverine of a man was out here just terrorizing defenses with like 22-second possession post-ups. Pay some fucking respect to Chris Kaman. Yo, we gotta pull up a picture of this man. Like, I don't know how we're gonna incorporate him in here, but y'all gotta respect the girth of Chris Kaman today.
Why is that what we're respecting today? I thought it was just defense. I thought it was a hard post-up game.
Specific choice of the word girth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
Sometimes you just have to leave it there because it's just wood. You don't know like in what aspect.
The Girth of Chris Kaman.
Yeah, man.
It's hilarious. The Girth of Chris Kaman should be the name of this episode.
Yeah, y'all gotta pay respect. I'm tired of this. There's a lot of unsung NBA heroes from just the 2000s that people don't respect. I feel like there's a lot of NBA players from the 90s that are famous. There's a lot of NBA players currently from like the 2010s, the last decade, that are still relatively well known culturally. But then you go to the 2000s, like I'll see people really like point up and be like, "Oh shit, that's Gilbert Arenas." Like, I don't know. Unless they're like, "Oh shit, that's Gilbert Arenas. He has a gun." Like,
yeah, no bullshit. Right. Oh shit, that's Gilbert Arenas. That way.
Yo, I would do that. No lie for Gilbert Arenas. So that man is a legend right there. But for some people, it's like I'm not getting excited to see you, bruh. Like there was a video of Greg Oden walking down the street. This old lady came to him and she's like, "Do you play basketball?" And he's like,
I did.
I used to.
I did.
It's just so sad, bro.
that's a man who knows his prime is past. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's coming up for me.
Knees are
That's coming up for me though. I can feel that. I feel like I got like 2 or 3 more years, and then I'm about to.
I'm trying to be like in the Kim Kardashian shape by the time I'm 40. That's where I'm trying to
Wait,
be.
so you trying to look like a pear?
Trying to have that full
You
figure.
trying to be a pear at the age of 40?
Oh,
It's
definitely.
Like, girth on him.
Thickness.
Get that Kardashian girth.
The girth of Kenton
shit.
Nate. Goddamn.
The girth of Kim Kardashian. Oh yeah.
No upper body,
Yeah,
all
shit's
lower
hard.
body is the plan.
Shit funny.
That's a dominating
That
pose
is.
though, if you think about it.
Couple centaurs, man.
Bro, if you walk out with the python legs, there's nothing anyone can say with you, especially if you got on some biker shorts.
Yeah.
No one is stepping to you at that point, bro. No one's
Absolutely.
gonna disrespect you
No
to your
shit.
face. They might say behind your back.
Respect.
They ain't gonna say that shit to you.
Thick legs do get respect though these days, which is weird. Actually, you know what's weird? Like the whole like short shorts things came back, and then like fashion is cyclical, and we know that everything too. But I feel like if it makes sense, attractiveness, like features that people are generally attracted to, is also kind of cyclical. Because now I hear a lot from girls like they appreciate the fuck out of some like thick legs and nice legs in a guy. But I feel like the past 20 years, I mean the whole time where like baggy shorts were in and everything like that, no girls really cared at all about legs. But before in the 80s, 90s, like my mom always says like my dad's legs was the reason why, your boy's here. Like that's the calling point. She saw them legs, like, oh, hey,
I love
man.
the honesty.
She
I
kept
love the
it
honesty.
real with me, and I respect it. But like, I feel like the pattern of fashion and the pattern of attractiveness may be, chicken and egg a little bit, if that makes any sense. Which is weird because you wouldn't think like what niggas are attracted to.
Wait, how so?
Like, I
What do
feel
you
like
mean by
the-
chicken and egg?
We follow the patterns of fashion because it's maybe easier to follow because that's your choice. Designers design based off what they think is gonna be hot, and what's hot changes all the time. But what's hot might be
Yeah.
following what people's attractiveness or what they're attracted to, and how that's changing. If that makes any sense. Maybe I'm just going out.
No, that makes sense. Because it's like, sometimes it's because you think that person's attractive that then whatever they're wearing becomes attractive, right? It's like Kim Kardashian put people on the Spanx. But Spanx have been around for a while, but now girls are out here on Instagram and just Spanx because they think it's great, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Because what the Spanx accentuates is what people happen to be attracted to mostly now.
Yeah, definitely. And I even think there's attraction, that's a level to it, but I even think it's what you believe is popular is famous and like what they're attracted to. For example, like I do think fashion's for sure cyclical, but also not just in terms of attractiveness, but in age too. If you think about it, like we're always kind of reinventing shit from 20 years ago with fashion today. So if you go back in like 2010, they were trying to like recreate like a lot of like the 80s, like that, the late 80s and shit like that. We went like really neonish. Like we started going because EDM like actually really aligned with a lot of like themes and elements from the 80s. And then if you look at what was happening with high fashion too, especially like Riccardo Tisci, like 2012 with Givenchy, that's like a great example of like the metal aspect starting to take over. And then you see how the 2010s progress, and then vintage like Metallica like tour t-shirts start to become famous and stuff like that.
Grind shirt and shit like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And so then it transitions into this 90s thing where, and then we start to actually accentuate. I think Yeezy actually did a really good job coinciding with that 90s type of vibe, because like Yeezy kind of brought like camo back in certain aspects, like even a lot of like the minimalism, like the Carhartt type of vibe that like was also a big thing in the 90s. Like they were huge, like denim was a huge deal in the 90s and stuff like that. So like the reinvention of that, what people try to do, I feel like Calvin Klein, like maybe like circa 2018, 2019, kind of had this period where they revitalized themselves based off of that aspect. And now, I mean, we say here in like 2020, I think this is going to be a refitting, if you will, of the 2000s. So like I think that we're going to see a lot of stuff that was popping in the 2000s kind of be reinvented this decade through different like pieces and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see.
You can make the argument that Yeezy even a little bit, especially with the clothing, like actual clothes, not the shoes, dipped a bit in the 2000s a bit with with Yeezy and a few other companies around the time where Yeezy's clothes were popping off.
Yeah.
Kind of brought back bagginess.
Yeah.
In shirts, and more shirts than pants, but you know what I mean? Just the kind of look in general.
Yeah.
And you can tell a little bit now in the whatever the grunge kind of groups of people now, their baggy jeans and all that shit's all in there.
Yeah, definitely.
It may all be showing itself in those certain groups, but
Yeah.
they're beginning to come back, the 2000s and all that.
Yeah. Another good example of like how the 2000s have gotten reinvented recently is like you look at like Balenciaga's shoes, like the big chunky shoes that they've been making. Even the whole chunky shoe aesthetic, I feel like is very late 90s, early 2000s, and just kind of seeing like the way that people are tapering their clothes now and stuff like that, like the way that people's pants fit now. Let's go back to 2010, which was a decade ago. I remember pants were so tight back then, or they were just starting to get tight, and they were
Really skinny jeans.
Yeah. It was gonna be skinny jeans, and they were getting colorful. People were fucking doing like, we're trying to teach people how to jerk, and it doesn't mean masturbating. It was a different time. it was a different time. Like,
What's crazy is that jerk shit was so normal then that the whole teach me how to jerk thing never even like
nobody even
entered my
thought of
mind.
it.
It's like that's a wild chorus to put in the song.
Yeah,
Teach me how to jerk. Never crossed my mind.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, reach up right now.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what's wild though about this is, thinking about the 2000s, there are people today having like 2000s themed dress up days for their class.
Wow.
Oh my god, I'm so
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's what they're
my
wearing.
gosh. That makes sense though, because when I was in high school, they had like 90s day and shit like that, which I'm sure had to feel crazy for my parents who went to school before the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so old when I get my kids.
Yeah, I know.
And they have like a 2020 day or something like that. I was like,
I know.
Oh my gosh. They're not even dressed up like in my prime era anymore. Like that's not even a thought.
Yeah, I know. I think
Damn.
the cool thing though that's helped me, I guess, like embrace this whole aging process, because I was talking to my girlfriend about this earlier, of just like how much different life is going to be for our kids' generation versus us, and like we can't like hand them off like our like cultural ideas. Like we were talking about like Aaliyah or some shit, and she was like, I will never be able to give like my kid the feeling of like listening to Aaliyah like in 1999 or like 2003 or whatever, like, you know what I mean? And so it's gonna be weird to see how they interpret the shit that we think is dope, you know what I mean? Because those kids going to that 2000s party, for example, they're just seeing all of the stuff that their parents thought was cool about the 2000s at that time, and then they're just kind of trying to replicate it. And that's what everybody does if you think about it, even when we were replicating like the 80s or the 70s whenever we'd go to parties. So yeah, that shit is gonna be very, very interesting. But I'm cool with the idea that, like, culturally, there's gonna be stuff happening in the future that's not gonna be for me. Like TikTok for me was like the first time I felt it, and I was like, you know what? Sitting this one out, and I'm gonna just see like what the youth does with this. and they've killed it. It's just been like Vine, but better. Like, so I fucks with that.
It's been Vine, but for like them.
Yeah.
And you really get to see like what they're actually into it. Oh shit, my bad. And you get to see like how, you know what I mean, how they take the ball and run with it, which is different than how we did. Because our generation was kind of Vine and, you know what I mean, Twitter and Instagram and all that good shit. But like TikTok's the first like real whole platform where like the generation under us is like, all right, let's show them what we're doing and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's different. It just makes you feel old.
Oh yeah.
It does, bro. It does. I mean, when you think about it, like, you know, Soulja Boy is gonna be there like Vanilla Ice does, which is crazy.
Wow.
That's probably true.
That's wild.
That's probably exactly true. That's probably
Which is
exactly
crazy,
true.
bro.
Yeah.
It's like how do you even try to compare those two, right? Like such vastly different artists, but that's how they're gonna look at him when they're older. So it's gonna be a really odd experience. We're gonna be like, yo, y'all don't know nothing about cranking nothing. Y'all were never in the high school gym cranking the Soulja Boy, bumping into 4 people because they didn't know which direction to go at the right time. You don't know about this.
You ever yule into a big nigga shoulder? It's not. Because you got to figure it out.
Oh my gosh, that's an immediate elbow knocker. Like, if you know, you know. Like, somebody would just run in, bam, bop the elbows.
There's always that one nigga who like gets into the yule too.
It's like you
in the splash zone, bro. You get hurt in the mosh pit.
It's like they've never been like hit in the face when listening to No Hands. Like they will never have that experience.
The most they can
What's
do
crazy
is
about-
research that stuff.
It's crazy.
But like, even for me, it's
Still,
like
you don't feel it.
if you don't live through it, you won't remember like the goods and the bads, like the totality of that character. You know what I mean? Because like even all the stuff you said about Soulja, I feel like that's the deepest that a kid way younger than us is probably gonna go about Soulja. Even if they do their research and their due diligence, but they'll never remember like this dude like carried Dat Piff for a period of time and like was actually like a real big innovator in a lot of things, like, which is insane because he's also Soulja Boy, aka Young Draco, but
talks crazy. Talks ridiculous.
yeah.
But what's crazy about what they won't understand about Soulja Boy is he took over the ringtone game, which they won't even understand. That's even a game.
Yes.
He ushered in, took over, and finished the entire ringtone era. And like the younger people won't even understand. Like, why is ringtone a big deal? You put it whatever. They probably even put songs to ringtones anymore. Or things vibrate. They don't understand. Like,
Absolutely.
that was a really important game, and Soulja Boy took it over.
Yeah.
And like they don't have any baseline to even begin to understand that.
Right.
It's weird. Only us.
It's wild, bro. It's just like blowing my mind every day. Like I look at my nephew who's now what 16,
That's the middle age, yeah.
and like seeing the shit he's into versus the shit that I'm into. It's like, bruh, I feel so old sometimes because he be on some new shit, and I'm like, why didn't I catch that? Like, why didn't I catch that earlier? How did I miss this? And he's just like, he's bumping it, and that's his thing. And it's like I've given up on trying to keep up with that, you know, with the trend in that sense. But I'm always listen to music, so I don't ever foresee myself being the old head. Like, y'all don't know what good music.
But you have
is.
to.
Like, I don't think
this shit is what tells you have to actually make an effort to not make yourself that person too, because you understand how like you become detached like that. Like you just said, like how do you even miss this came out? You're still 25. Like at some point you're gonna be 45, and you're really gonna like you're gonna hear shit. It's like, hey, Ken, have you heard this? Like, yeah, it came out 7 years ago. And like I used to look at my dad, I was like, I would never be that. I'm always gonna be tapped in, but like you don't have a choice. Sometimes the game taps you out.
Yeah, no, that's facts though. That's a real ass quote though.
It's crazy.
I don't know about y'all though, like even with all of this stuff being said, it kind of makes me look forward to getting older, because I feel like I'm just gonna become like the Indian Larry David over time, and like I'm already seeing myself like be not only like detached from like cultural like references that are happening currently, I don't even have the time of day or effort to fucking care, and I'm very blatant about it, and I think that's just gonna get worse as I get older. And I don't know, for me, that's aging like a fine wine, a bitter wine, maybe like a Malbec or something. But like, you know, that's right.
An acquired taste one.
Yeah, that's right. I know wines.
If you understand.
Get money out here, you know what I'm saying?
You gonna get more too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
that's
trying
the
to
trade-off,
do.
man. It's like you could work so hard on your craft, trying to build yourself, and you know, trying to develop your professional self. But in doing that, there's got to be a sacrifice, right? And a lot of the times your sacrifice is being tapped into the culture. You may miss something by trying to grow your own stuff, thinking that, once I get this bag, then I can just mess around with what's going on with the people at that time. But you've missed the progression up until that point. So it's so hard for, I think, those people to jump back in to what's going on socially because they've been so detached this whole time because they're so focused on their goal. So it's like, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing at the same time. But if I have to weigh the two options, it's like, bro, I'm getting this bag. It's like, I need this.
Plus, it's not like you're gonna lose your generation and shit like that. Like, I feel like especially at a certain age, no matter how long you've been keeping up with the progression of like what's been hot and shit like that, you're gonna be 35 in the club at some point, or 45 in the club at some point, where it's like you're gonna be out of place regardless. So you might as well stick with what's going on in your generation, grow yourself, and you know what I mean. Just find where you fit in, you know what I mean? I know.
I don't see myself going to a club in like the next 3 years. I don't even envision it happening.
Yeah, especially if I stay in a relationship, man. I'm like, why?
Yeah, because why? Let's talk about this. What is the real point of having a club? Let's get into this, because people think, it's a good time. You go out, you dance with your friends, but like, when you get older, all your friends are like separated. They live in different states, or they all got like families or jobs. Ain't nobody have time to go out in like a group of 20 people and try to mob in a club and potentially get shot. Shit
I feel like I was early on this experience is kind of overrated. Trains. That's just like a bar with like lower music and where you can actually speak or something. But like a club, it's dark. You can't talk to anybody. You brought friends, you can't talk to them like that. It's packed most of the time. Well, not now, but most of the time it's packed and shit like this. Like, this is all so I can say I went out. Like, the pregame has always been funner. And like, I was looking at it that way as like not a kid, but 22, 21-year-old. Just like, there's no way I'll be here 30. I don't understand it. So you can't really like pick up anybody at a club. You can't talk. You can't see.
Yeah.
What's the point?
You gotta leave the club like with that person if you want to get a chance to shoot your shot.
Or catch the
like, it's never really going down at the club unless you hooking up with somebody that's just trying to party. Which is, there's plenty of people that are like that. You know what I mean?
Serious.
Yeah, no, true. I mean, it's fun people. I love partying with these people. It's a good time. But like, as we get older, I think the notion of being cool becomes less and less of a priority over time. And I think that's probably what dissuades most people, I won't even say our age, but people who have experienced that clubbing lifestyle or partying lifestyle and have been exposed to it for so long. It grows old on you because like your focus goes into more mysterious things that are less known, and things that might be more productive to you and your specific interest. It's very rare to find somebody who's actually obsessed about the intricacies of partying. Like, I want to go to a nightclub and make sure that the lighting is like this and that the drinks are like this and stuff like that. And we need those people because they raise like the upper echelon of partying, which is good for everybody. But yeah, like, I don't think most people really give a shit about that. So most of the times they're just trying to get like fucked up because it's like new, or they're trying to get fucked up so they can reminisce about some shit. That's usually what I've seen whenever I've gone out. Yeah. And so like, once you kind of figure out those aspects and you realize like, all right, are any of these paths really getting me to my like individual goals of like, I don't know, like personal growth, like just like seeking knowledge, like building great relationships, just experiencing like new things. Like, no, not really. Like that, I mean, that's for me personally. So that's like what dissuades me from doing that. And obviously, like, you know, I'm in a great relationship and both of us are very like just quiet, private people too. Like, I very much savor that about like what we are. So I actually get more excited to go out and get dinner with my friends, like, you know what I mean?
100%.
And then maybe go to a bar like right after or something like that, or like go travel. Like those are becoming my versions of the club, like as I get older.
I feel like the whole club scene might honestly die soon, because with or without COVID. Because like, I don't know if you guys realize, I started peep in college, really. Like the years after I became a junior, the freshman years coming after that, they didn't really like care about partying in general like that. Like I know now in Rose, they're not like parties aren't anywhere near as big of a deal as it was like our freshman year maybe. And I feel like the younger generations don't care about that whole scene, frat parties, clubs, any of that. Like
they don't.
They're
care.
all in their room having a blast on the chat. Like they're not like they didn't care about.
They
like,
already got their like. Yeah, they already got their whole shit set up like online or on their phone with the group chats and shit. So like that's they living it up 24/7 on there already. So like they don't need real life partying like that when especially it's fucking late on Twitch right now. Like you know what I'm saying? Or it's just late in the group chat with the boys. Like that's their turn up. So like they don't really need to experience it in real life. But what I will say, I used to not get that at all because I used to be like, especially with like my younger cousins or like nephews and stuff like that, I'd just be like, yo, y'all are not living life by not like going out and doing that shit. But then what I realized is like they're just a lot more efficient. They're just more efficient shooters. Like that's what I'm learning about them as they start to like turn up and do their thing. Like they're not gonna go out as much, but they'll probably go out like maybe like 3 times every like 2 months. But when they go out, they stepping out right. They got like most of the people in their like group chat or like channel with them and shit, and they're trying to be active so it's definitely different. It's cool and I get it, but I definitely could see how this and the combination of COVID would just have that shit completely fall off. Like
I'll have most of it fall off, and I think the only like club scenes that stay will do what you were saying earlier about like, or the clubs that like take specific care of like the lighting and the drinks and make it like a real experience for people to go there. Like you said before, like these younger generations, they know exactly what they want to do, exactly how they want to hang out, who they want to be with, exactly what they want to do. Like they're efficient with this shit, which means if a club's gonna want to entice them out, they have to be efficient with this shit too and provide like a actual experience instead of jamming 100 niggas into a box and blasting a stereo into it.
That was our shit.
Jamming a bunch of niggas into a dark box, blasting music and throwing alcohol at them. It's like, all right, niggas, you guys figure out how to have a good time. Like, no, like, you have to make a real experience.
Yeah, like girls gotta twerk just to get some breathing room.
Yeah.
You just gotta twerk for space.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild out here.
Move out the way.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yo, I really think, you know, for me going into school especially, I was thinking the parties are gonna be like like the movie house party type. Not like the fratty frat type, because the movie house party type is my favorite type of party, and I think that will never die. Like the kickback, the house party will never die because it's just your crew, your homies. There might be some random people that pull up. Usually they're cool though, or they're starting some shit. You know how that goes. But you know, it's just y'all, and then like it'll randomly get lit, and then it'll also there'll be pockets in the party where you can pop off and like talk to the girl or just kick it with the homies or something. It doesn't have to be wild all the time, and that's like what a club is.
The knowing
that's actually wild
too, especially for women too, because like think about the situation that clubs are for women, where like you only know who you're coming up with. For I mean, guys and girls, you only know who you're going in with. The rest is complete strangers, who mostly men-wise came there to fuck a stranger.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? You can't trust 80% of niggas who are looking to fuck that night. Like in general, safety-wise. But if you know everybody's there, even if it's a big party, if it's like a house party type situation where you know most people there, maybe a few came in as plus ones or whatever, but like at least there's some, you know, familiarity with your surroundings so you can feel safe. Which is crazy.
For sure. Yo, I wanna do a quick callback real quick, because I think this is an interesting question that Johnny and I were talking about last time off of the podcast, which is, can you pull a chick
I think it's
by
so
going
possible.
into a club with a board game?
The physical board
Is this
game.
possible? With a physical, like if you show up with Candyland to a party or like to a club, say you walk into Dre's nightclub,
I think
with
it's super
Candyland or
possible.
Shoots and
I
Ladders.
think it's
Can you
super
pull a
possible.
chick
Because who has
with
done
a board
that?
game?
The audacity. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Audacious shit will get you pussy. There's no explanation for that. I can't explain it.
Yo,
there's no algorithm to it. But what I will tell you is if you try to break the simulation, you will succeed when it comes to just having sex. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care where you fall on the rainbow. Doing audacious shit will get you laid every single time with somebody. Because what you can guarantee on in this world is that there's at least one fucking weird person in every room.
100%.
Yeah.
Who would vibe with that shit? It's another callback to what AJ said before. You look like your breath stink. What? It's just got audacious, man. Break there. Get their attention.
Yeah, that's audacious shit. That's it.
Audacious shit, man. Coming in with the audacity.
Yeah.
Shout out to Audacity, by the way.
So y'all could pull up with the Connect 4.
It's over.
That's all I'm saying.
And just
go ahead and just
get it right
challenge Meg the Stallion. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to challenge Meg the Stallion to Connect 4. Like, not even on nothing else, just to see if she's actually got, you know, the acumen to just be an absolute master of this shit. Like, what if... Imagine that. Imagine, okay, let's say in theory a gentleman shows up and is like, yo, Meg the Stallion's there. Let me play Connect 4. Doesn't get any pussy, but you can have the satisfaction going home knowing that Meg the Stallion is actually way better at Connect 4 than you would have originally thought. And that's a wrinkle to an individual's character that you can't get on TMZ, okay? It goes back to what we were even saying about like all the stuff about Soulja. Like, people aren't gonna recognize these little wrinkles to what makes Soulja a legend. Like, you could be part of that legacy by showing up to a board game, showing up to a club with a board game.
The point I made last time, which was interesting, was if you lose said board game to the girl, then you may be fucked. There's no coming back from that. You may just have pure humiliation.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
And no chick at the end of the night.
If you lose, you just talk shit and then just dips with the group. It's like, now I'm just sitting here with a board game.
Yeah, imagine having to sneak like Scrabble into the club just to lose Scrabble and not get pussy. Like, that's rough. She ends up beating you with the word simp. It's like a triple word on the P.
I'm not counting that.
Yeah.
You can literally take the L at the end of the night.
But okay,
just be done.
See, Ken, you see these puns that you're just coming up with? Do you know what girls love? Puns.
That pun shit.
Board games, puns, girls, this is all a Venn diagram.
What's it? Because puns are audacious. It's audacious to be aggressively corny.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that in a negative way.
Yeah, we gonna put it up there. Y'all see the Venn?
That fucking pink diagram, baby.
This is why we got green screens.
I forgot the green screen. What we're thinking about.
Guys, the amount of satisfaction that I had being able to put a crack pipe right next to Craig Federini's face in that last episode. It was worth the wait. It was worth all of the wait, the months of waiting.
The shit that brings you satisfaction is hilarious.
Yeah.
How good Meg the Stallion is to Connect 4 and putting a crack pipe on his face.
Bro, if you lose to Megan Thee Stallion at Connect 4, the only joy you're gonna get is her like twerking the chips out of the board. That's the only satisfaction you're gonna get. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But then also, like, you gotta think of it from the girl's perspective. If homeboy pulls up on you with a board game and there's no camera, like this is a YouTube thing, that's kind of weak.
You can't. Actually, I don't know. You'd have to have an immense amount of game to pull this off solo. I wouldn't. Let me say this. I would recommend a solo run with the board game. You know what I mean? Maybe bring somebody for support to set up plays and things like that. But like, if you did though, if you were able to pull off the solo board game run, you, sir, deserve a shiny golden sticker.
That's a difficult shot. Because like you can't unless you get a table the whole night, you standing with a board game a good amount of nights.
yeah, that's just.
You want a drink? You gotta go up there with a board game in your hand.
Yes.
It's just that.
That's the other hurdle. How do you even get in the club with the board game? How do you not get tossed out by the bounce?
We just gotta try this out. Next time we link, I'm telling you, let's put this on record. Next time we link, we gotta bring a board game and just see what the fuck goes down.
That could be very effective with a group, though. I'm with you with the whole like if you come in, play a sample game with your friend, get hyped during it too. Guess what? What are they doing?
Yeah, exactly. Like, pre-game with a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Oh, this guy's too good. Who can beat this man? Is there anybody here?
Yo, there's just a VIP group of niggas playing Connect 4.
Yeah, bro, it's packed in Hakkasan, and y'all motherfuckers pull up. Like Meek Mill's about to perform, you kick him off stage, you set up the table just to play Connect 4. The lights are going, the Meek Mill instrumentals are playing, but it's just you playing Connect 4. Meek's not saying anything.
Meek's not saying anything. Meek's just stop rapping. How Meek start paying attention?
Yo, that's so funny, bro. If I would be so disappointed if I was like Meek or Drake trying to give a performance and everybody's looking at these niggas in the back playing Connect 4.
I thought we was gonna chase dreams tonight. Now we gonna connect them, you bitch.
Oh, sir, we connected 4 of them hoes. Stupid. That's a real plan, though.